Hello everyone. As I mentioned in today's class, I'm gonna make a video every time we finish our lesson. In this video, you will find a brief summary of the lesson we had today, September the 29th. This video will not add any extra information, but only the information we covered in class. In today's class, we started a new unit called Customs and Traditions All Over the World. That in Spanish would be Costumbres y Tradiciones Alrededor del Mundo. Therefore, what we're going to see during these weeks is going to be related to customs and traditions all over the world. In today's lessons, you shared your experience. We got to know each other a bit more. You share your experience about family traditions and traditions you have within your family. We review the handout 8 and we'll listen to Rose sharing some old traditions about her family. Finally, you had some time to ask questions and we mentioned some important information you need to know after this class. In the first part of the lesson, you shared your experience. You had to tell us a custom or tradition you and your family have. Cuéntanos una costumbre o tradición que tú y tu familia tengan. To do so, some of you wrote on the chat and some of you wrote on menti.com. Let's see some of your answers. So some of the answers to which custom or tradition you and your family have are, one of you said, we don't have a tradition. None, ninguna. Every Christmas, me and my family get together for dinner. Good. Every Sunday, we eat hot dog. Every September 18, we drink terremoto and go to the fondas. We join Christmas with my uncles and grandparents. Every year, my family and I play some table games like domino. Every Sunday, my family and I have lunch at my grandparents' house before quarantine, of course. Every day, my family and I take care of my cat. We have a habit of talking, almost shouting. My family too. Sometimes we shout instead of talking normally. My family and I generally don't have a tradition, but if every year on September 18, we get together at my grandfather's house to make roast, share, etc. Good. Every September, my family makes a restaurant in my house. That's good, delicious. Our tradition is to get together as a family at Christmas and spend the night with stories. Every September 18, we throw the house out of the window. We don't have any, and with my family, the 18, we go to the fondas. So those are some of the traditions you and your family have. Now, if you want to talk about the traditions you and your family have, you can see the following example. This is my family. And every Christmas, my family and I get together. And every September 18, my family and I play together. So if you want to talk about your family, you can use the form every summer or weekend or Halloween, Easter, morning, evening, Christmas, September 18. You decide, my family and I, and then what you do with your family. Great. So now let's move on to the second part of the lesson, that is the handout. In the handout, we talked about some questions that appear in the handout, like how do you define the concept of tradition? What is tradition to you? Do you think traditions can evolve over time, like change over time? Are traditions condemned to disappear? Do you think that someday traditions will eventually disappear? There are two types of traditions. One are family traditions. Some families like reading stories at night. Or for example, when I was a child, all the kids were sitting together at one table. Probablemente cuando ustedes eran niños también, no mucho tiempo atrás, cuando la familia se reunía, la familia se juntaba toda los niños se sentaban primero a la mesa o los niños tenían una mesa solo para ellos. Estas son tradiciones familiares que se van repitiendo año tras año. There are some other traditions like cultural traditions. Cultural traditions go beyond our house, our family, and these are traditions we share as a culture. For example, the Chilean tradition or the Latin American tradition. These are traditions that we share as a culture. For example, riding horses and bulls at the rodeo, or burning Yodas on Easter Sunday. These are cultural traditions that we have in Chile, and some of them are condemned to disappear, or not. That's your opinion. So with that, you can now answer these questions. The second part of the handout is about a listening activity, speaking about all family traditions and decide which of these topics are not mentioned. Listen to Rose and let's see. But before we listen to Rose, there is some important vocabulary you need to know first. This is chores. These chores are duties you do at home, such as cleaning the bathroom or washing the dishes or tidying up your bed, etc. Slippers are a type of comfortable shoe you wear inside the house. Probably you're wearing them right now, are you? The door frame is the frame in a doorway in which a door is fitted. The frame of the door, right? And costumes are clothes you usually wear on Halloween. So for example, what do you think is this? This is a door frame. These are chores. These are slippers. And these are costumes. So now let's listen to the audio and check what things are mentioned and what things are not mentioned.
Track 13, Student's Book, Unit 2, page 36, Exercise 1.
There are rituals in every family and every era that we remember fondly. Whether it was small chores or the family dinner each night, some particular family traditions are still special memories for us. Even if it was a simple repair job, I loved getting to use the hammer or the drill with my parents. I remember bringing my dad his lunchbox every day before he went to work. And we also brought him his slippers in the evening, too. It was these little traditions that made us a team. I also remember that cooking alongside Mom in the kitchen was such great quality time with her. And we had strict rules at the table, too. Family dinners were special and brought us together every single day. I also remember that we also used to mark kids' heights on the doorframe. So the more kids there were, the worse the doorframe looked. But this is such a special family tradition. I remember my mom also made us costumes. There was nothing like the chaos that making one or several costumes created in the family, but Mom always handled it beautifully. Whether it was listening to records or the radio in the evenings, or watching TV or reading together, the family time in the evenings was always especially precious. Such good times.
Great. So now you listened to Rose talking about that. You can also see the transcript to see what she mentioned or what she didn't mention. Then in the third part of the handout, you have to answer these questions according to the traditions or celebrations in the pictures over here. Can you identify any of the celebrations in the pictures? What is celebrated and where? Name at least 3 annual holidays celebrated worldwide. And are those holidays celebrated the same way in every single country? You can look for some extra information on internet. Probably you saw this picture in a movie, or this one, or this one, or this one. So do some research online and find about these celebrations. The third part of the class was about answering your questions in case you have any. I also gave you some important information, and this was that I'm going to make a video like this one I'm doing right now with a summary of the lesson for people who have problems with internet connection. So in case you have problems with internet connection or you're running out of battery, you can watch this video anyways. And finally, please answer this survey. It's about online lesson perceptions. It's very important that you answer this survey. It's compulsory, mandatory. Please do it. And the link to this survey will be uploaded right next to this video. That's all for today. Take care, be safe, wash your hands, and see you next week. Bye.